Today on the show, Taylor Swift changed some problematic lyrics to one of her songs, and fans are angry. Will her $300 million help her sleep at night?
We try to help a girl whose baby daddy is as fickle as the boys in a Taylor Swift song.
And I went to see the surprise hit movie of the summer, Sound of Freedom. Is it the reason for the teardrops on my guitar?
All this and more on episode 10 of the Blimey podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Blimey podcast. Jordan, this is episode number 10.
Wow, 10, a decade of doing this.
A decade, one a year. Now, Jordan, in the 10 weeks we've been doing this, we've probably made about a year's worth of content in terms of the duration of the podcast.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, but speaking of such things, Jordan, we have started a Blimey Cow Clips YouTube channel.
We have. I've been putting up some shorts onto this YouTube channel, and then Josh said, or did I say? Somebody said, let's do a clips channel, and I said, what if it was called Blimey Clips? And Josh said, what about Cow Clips? And so now we just made Blimey Cow Clips. So we split the difference, or added the difference, or something.
Added the difference. Yeah, so you can go over, I don't know, click the link in the description. It's youtube.com/@BlimeyCowClips. I guess there's an @ now in the URLs.
That's fine.
Whatever. So you can go, and if this show seems too long, or you just want like little 5-10 minute clips of the show, go.
We splice up the show into segments, and we do like everybody else does.
You all know what's going on here, okay? Oh yeah, and thanks so much to our supporters that support BlimeyCow.com, and thanks to our new supporter this week, Eric Walford. Okay, now Jordan, last week on the show, we talked about how we had the first international community marriage. Well, I was actually incorrect. That was the first across a continent, across the sea.
Okay.
But we have also this year had a Canada to America marriage.
Well,
or it's coming up.
I understand that that's international too, but it's not.
All right, well, I think you'll be surprised to hear who it is. I don't even know if you know about this.
Who is it?
You remember Zach from...
I need to see his face. My facial recognition needs to kick in.
Yeah, why don't you show off your facial recognition?
Yes,
remember that guy from BlimeyCon?
Yeah, I talked to him extensively.
Oh, yeah.
He actually gave me several books.
Well, guess what, Jordan? He met Krista at BlimeyCon last year, and now they're getting married. This is a true story.
Wow. Well, congratulations, guys. Zach, I miss you, buddy.
Somebody in the comments also said, they were like, hey, we got married because of Blimey Cow too. Now we have a kid on the way. And I commented them back, and I said, I want to hear the story. I haven't heard from them yet. So anyways, congratulations, everybody. Woo!
So last week we asked you guys, would you rather be able to instantly learn new skills or instantly learn new languages? Now those two things are completely different. And that's what Josh was trying to tell us. If you could learn a new skill that wasn't learning languages, if you could learn new skills and not learn any new languages, or would you not learn any new skills and only have the skill of learning a language?
I thought that everybody was going to say learn a new skill. But as I perused the comment section, most people said they would rather learn a new language. Is that surprising to you too?
You know, yes and no.
Okay.
People are addicted to learning new languages or to being on Duolingo and not actually learning languages until they're frustrated, Josh, because they're like, this takes a long time. So they want to just be able to do it.
The worst thing about Duolingo is the streak. It's the streak, because as soon as you have a long one and then you lose it,
screw it. I'm done.
What? I mean, I'm not actually learning anything here. It was all about the streak. And now I forget it all in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is what people said.
Okay.
Clara May said, I would totally pick learning a new language. As a nurse, that would be so incredible. That would be helpful.
See, that makes sense. That would be a helpful thing for your current job. Mm-hmm. So I see how you could immediately get a raise. Now, let's see these other people's excuses.
What is my greatest strength? Well,
I would choose to instantly learn a language because there's so much satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment in the process of learning a new skill. My biggest regret right now is that I wasted all my teenage years on entertainment when I could have been learning the skills that I wish that I had now. As a wife and mother, I'm still working on them, but very slowly.
I hadn't really thought about that idea, that a lot of the fun of getting good at a skill is learning the skill.
I mean, I think that's the fun of learning a new language too, but there is more frustration in learning that I think. because it's so just literally foreign.
Right.
It's not like swinging a hammer that everyone can do that. There's no language barrier to swinging a hammer.
This guy said, learn a language without a doubt. Learning new skills is fun, but so is the process, whereas I would love to immediately be able to communicate with someone who speaks a different language. So I was just surprised. I thought that most people were going to say skills, because that's what I would say, but now I'm second guessing myself.
Well, see, the reason that you should say skills, Josh, is because the language barrier is already broken because of Google Translate.
Oh,
you
true.
can translate, but you can't build a house. Google can't build you a house yet. So I would say neither, because I don't like the thought of being able to instantly do something.
You don't want someone to have that power.
No, over me. To just be like, here's a chip, here's a pill, take it. You can now do anything that you want. That's weird.
With a few little extra things to sign on the dotted line.
Yeah, exactly. And so I didn't trust the question from the start. So I just said I'm not playing the game. I'm just gonna keep chugging along.
I don't trust the heart of the question.
No,
okay, I don't trust you.
No. So let's just go ahead and just give you guys the question for next week. Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert? Now, Josh, if we don't get a record of comments on this question,
that's what I was gonna say. I wanted to break the record. Okay, so I figured we could bring this back.
Guys, really, just let us know. Desperately interested. It is a good question, Josh. You know,
we can tell everyone whether we're introverts or extroverts next week on the podcast. All right, let's Christian meme review.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so full disclosure, Jordan, I've been culling through Christian memes online, looking all over the place because, as you all know, my wife is with child, and that child could arrive at any moment. So we are getting ahead on videos, and so I am just pulling memes from everywhere. So
we probably picked the same memes. I'll see.
That's what I was worried about. So anyways, I just pulled one from the library. It was one I thought was funny.
Okay.
Because I think they're all funny. So here we go.
What the heck was that? Like, what was that?
I don't know. It's some kind of game or something.
I can't tell. Weird.
It looks like some sort of like creator mod, like Gary's mod kind of game or something. I don't know. All right. So I was a little sad to lose that one for Christian meme review, but it's all good. Okay, let's check out what you've got here.
I have two, Josh, because I was insecure.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that's funny.
Did you use that one?
No, I haven't seen that one before.
This is from a really small account. Okay. I was surprised. So, yeah. This is the Church Collective. This is a small Instagram page. Okay. Relatively small.
All right, good deal.
Check them out. They're hilarious.
Very good, very good. You want to play a game?
Let's do it. Apparently, everybody has heard of this game, and I have too, but I don't even know how to play it.
I know you've played this.
It's called BALDERDASH, or is it BALDERDASH?
BALDERDASH.
All right.
I'm going to give Jordan a word that is very strange, and I'm going to give him a couple of options for what that word actually means, and Jordan just has to guess what that word means. And I thought that this fit in with nostalgia, because Jordan likes to play nostalgic games.
We do like to play nostalgic games.
I thought this was a good homeschooler game.
Okay.
But Jordan's never heard of it, so you at home, you know what's up. All right, Jordan, here's your first word. The word is bunkum. B-U-N-K-U-M.
And these are real words?
These are real words.
All right.
Does bunkum mean insincere or silly talk, or does it mean a sport related to wrestling popular in the 1700s?
The 1700s.
Incorrect.
That was such a stupid thing. I shouldn't
have
picked that one.
This is all about the metagame, okay? Yes, I did write the wrong definition.
Did you?
I did. Okay, so you can think about that while we're playing.
So what did bunkum mean?
Bunkum means insincere or silly talk. Bunkum. That's bunkum. That's a bunch of bunkum. Jordan, this word is fichu. F-I-C-H-U. Fichu.
Sounds a lot like Pikachu.
Yeah. Is it a woman's triangular scarf of lightweight fabric? Or is it a large European breed of dog? Which one did Josh write?
Why would you bring up a large dog?
Why would
Because I have a large dog. I would say the handkerchief thing.
You think it's a handkerchief thing?
I do.
You're correct. He got one. He got one.
Okay, there we go.
I love games like this because Jordan takes them way too seriously. I love it. All right, the next word is Twankay. 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 Is it a brand of green tea grown and prepared in China or a type of glass used in the crafting of prescription lenses? Twankay?
Josh thinks about glasses. He does. He thinks about them.
I do think about glasses.
So I'm going to go with A.
A brand of green tea?
A brand of green tea.
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
Jordan, you're winning the meta game.
Good. Thank God.
All right, you got two more.
All right.
This one is trocar.
Trocar.
Trocar. Trocar. Is it a sharp-pointed surgical instrument used with a cannula to puncture a body cavity for fluid aspiration?
Okay.
Or is it a 2020 video game that was banned in the United Kingdom for spreading misinformation?
Both of these sound like you wrote them. Both equally. I'm going to pick B.
2020 video game?
Yeah.
Trocar? Incorrect.
Okay.
But I'm glad I got you on that one. I laughed at when I wrote it. I was like, he's going to fall for this. He's going to fall for this one. All right, here's the last one. Dewlap. Dewlap. D-E-W-L-A-P. Is it a fold of loose skin hanging from the neck of certain animals? Or is it a thin layer of film sometimes visible on puddled rainwater?
I'm going with A.
A fold of loose skin hanging from the neck of certain animals?
Yes.
You are correct.
I actually knew that word.
You got 3 of 5. You knew that word?
I did.
Dunlap?
I had heard that word before.
Dewlap, I mean.
Dewlap.
I figured if you knew any of these, it would be dewlap.
Okay, wow.
Good job.
Beat the odds. Against all odds.
Against all odds.
Not knowing the game.
Very good.
How'd you guys do in the game?
Yeah, how'd you guys
Comment below.
Comment below when you're telling us if you're an introvert or extrovert.
But leave it in 2 separate comments.
2 separate comments. Like and subscribe too. Okay, Jordan, boy, we gotta. Did you read this message ahead of time?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
Lordy, get ready for this one. Here we go.
Mid-sized message.
I think I even trimmed it down a little
Did
bit.
you? Hi, Jordan and Josh. I'm expecting my first child. As excited as I am, unfortunately, the father of my baby hasn't been present or helpful for the entirety of my pregnancy. As of right now, the father of my baby does not have permission to even meet his child because of the absent, nonchalant way he's been acting. He has not earned the right to be a part of the baby's life. That's not to say that I haven't left many doors of opportunity open for Kevin, the father of my baby. Why is it funny his name is Kevin?
Because it was what you said. Kevin.
All that being said, I would consider allowing him into my baby's life if I saw Kevin make an extreme from the heart change in his life and actions towards his child. What is y'all's opinion on the subject? Should I, as the mother, keep the door of opportunity open for the small hope of change? Or is it best to forever and ever cut ties 100% with Kevin? Sorry, it's funny he's using his name. I was like, why did he? There's one man, one woman, just say him.
If only there was a week to keep your name anonymous. I feel like this is a good one for that. But
well, especially because she gives her name as well.
I know.
Well, we'll bleep that one. 100% with Kevin and give my baby the best life I can with my parents by my side. Sincerely, blank.
Kevin doesn't seem like the kind of guy who watches our podcast.
No.
I'm gonna be honest.
No, Kevin does not. Now, Kevin. I think, Josh.
I can't wait to hear what you think about this because I really wrestled with this. I really did. So I'm curious.
I didn't at all.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that you should always leave the window of opportunity, the door open for Kevin, because people can always change. There's always hope. And if you don't show him, even if, if he's not been there, and I've just seen what it does to people, honestly, like when their father, whoever, is just completely shut out from the life by the mother. It's like the mother's decision, and the child gets real bitter. real bitter. Even if the father has been real bad, the child gets really bitter because they want to make that choice. They don't want it to be the mother. And I understand that. I completely understand that because the kid, especially as the kid gets older, is thinking, okay, well, I have my own thoughts. What if it's mom's bias? Even if that's not true,
right?
They need to explore that so that you can know for a fact.
You don't want the kid to be bitter towards you. That's what's frustrating about the situation, because even if she has the best of intentions and she is doing like this guy really is just like a loser, and she is doing she's in this impossible situation. She's doing the best thing for her child, and the kid's not going to know that. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't know the dad, so all they can do is be angry at mom.
Yeah, and like I understand, like if Kevin is really going off the deep end, I understand to not let, you know, at a certain point, not let him see the child. But like, if he actually has made a change in his life and he's being better, like, why wouldn't you let him see the child? If you really do sense that he has changed, why would you just now say, I'm never gonna let him?
I think that she's hoping that by cutting it out completely, that hopefully he will say, oh, I need to get my act together.
Yeah.
And I do understand the idea of not wanting a flip-floppy kind of just like fickle dad in the picture who's kind of like drifting in and out. Like, the first thing that came to my head was, well, this kid needs some sort of consistent father figure, so maybe that ends up being this girl's dad.
Yeah.
And he ends up being sort of like the de facto father for this child, because the kid needs like just like a consistent father figure. If real dad's not going to be that.
Yeah.
You know? That's what's so frustrating. This was just so heartbreaking to read to me.
It is. I see. Maybe if she does say, hey, you can't see your child anymore, maybe that would make him change. You know, sometimes people need a bad thing to happen.
If he's not wanting to be a part of it anyway, for her to say, well, okay, then no. Just no. You can't just call and be like, well, hang on, I want to hang out this weekend. It's like, well, you need to be here every day, bro.
Yeah, I think there needs to be... Look, my experience from this is with Teen Mom 2. I don't know if that's the situation here, but Teen Mom 2, great show. The show holds up. I rewatched it. It really does hold up.
Fine, I'll watch Teen Mom, okay? You don't have to subtweet me every week about this.
Well, I watched it in 2010, and I watched it... I remember watching that show last year again and being like, just cut the dude out of the child's life.
Right.
Like, he comes in on his motorcycle and just like acts like, and then tries to suck up to everybody to try and be able to pay rent, live rent free. It's like, it's just a weird situation.
So messed up. I can't
playing Call of Duty in his boxers.
I can't even fathom it. I can't fathom that. It just makes me so mad even to think about. It really does.
Well, maybe you really should just cut him out and then just see what happens. And when I say cut him out, actually cut him out. And then, if he does change, like say he changes 10 years from now, okay, then let him back into the child's life. That's what I think we should say.
I wouldn't tell your child you're not allowed to see, like, when the child is older. But this is so many years down the line, whatever's going to change. But yeah, I mean, maybe in infancy, if dad's gonna be like this, then just say, well, I'm not gonna let you be like that. You're not gonna have any control over this situation unless you want to come over here and be a man. Pathetic. It makes me mad.
Message complete. Good news or bad news? What is this?
Jordan, I was so intrigued to talk to you about this.
Is this about Taylor Swift?
It is about the old T-Swift, because she just put out her Taylor's version of Speak Now.
Oh, thank God.
Which was my favorite one growing up. Okay? I liked Speak Now. Yeah. I think that was like the newest one when I got into Taylor Swift for a year or two. I remember Red coming out. I remember that being exciting. Oh, Red's coming out. So Speak Now was like the most recent one. And I really liked...
It's Speak Now and then it's Red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speak Now is the third one. Yeah.
Dude,
So-
well, I've literally wait, did I listen? I listened to her like
You and Amy were into her back in like Tears on My Guitar and Fearless, and
Yeah,
then I
that's
got
right.
you guys
Okay.
got me into her right around Speak Now.
Okay.
And then we were all into her during Red.
That's right.
Okay. So she just put out Speak Now. But Jordan, for the first time, she changed a lyric. Do you want to guess what the lyric is?
What song was it on?
Well, Better Than Revenge.
To be honest, Speak Now I listened to the least.
Okay.
So what was the lyric? Because I'm not going to be able to
do
guess.
you remember the line about, and this is about to get a little PG rated, so bear with me. She's better known than the things. Oh, sorry. She's better known for the things that she does on the mattress. Wow. Remember that line?
Oh yeah, I didn't like that song.
I know that song is so cringy. Well, now the lyric is,
I didn't even know that's what she was saying. Oftentimes I just hear beats. I'm like the AI pop guy.
I just like the way it sounds. I don't even listen to the lyrics.
With music like this, I just it's just whatever. Here at Walmart.
So now the lyric is, he was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches. Whoa. Okay, so the man now has no agency at all. He's just the moth, and she's got the matches. He's just fumbling around in the dark, sleeping with anybody who turns the light on. He can't help it.
So the lyric is what?
So the original lyric was basically her dissing the girl that her guy cheated with, and saying, that she's just, a floozy.
Okay, so so Taylor Swift is dating a guy, and Taylor in the song is dissing the girl that he's with because
this is like we're answering a message right now.
Okay,
So hang on. So how many people are involved? There are three people involved.
We've got
We'll
Taylor.
call the first one Taylor.
We've got Taylor. We've got Kevin, and then we've got this other person.
Yeah.
And Kevin is with this other girl, and so Taylor is making fun of the other girl for being a floozy.
Taylor and Kevin were together. Floozy girl stole Kevin.
And so she's known for what she does.
And so now Taylor
All right.
is writing this ultimate cringe diss track. And one of the lyrics in the
Okay.
original was, she's better known for the things that she does on the mattress.
Okay.
Like, sleeping or reading a book.
Simple things.
Maybe playing a little Nintendo Switch at the end of the night.
anything.
Anything, okay? But now, okay, that lyric
Literally
that
anything.
lyric was problematic, okay? So now the lyric is, he was a moth to the flame and she was holding the matches. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay?
So basically what changed is no situation in the universe could ever be that the girl is just kind of wanting to sleep around with guys.
Well, it would be improper to say that was a bad thing.
So she's okay. So okay.
You
so
see what I'm
Taylor Swift was saying, "Hey, it's bad to just randomly sleep around." Now she's saying it doesn't matter if she can do it. That's fine.
Right.
But he's
It's
just
like
going,
it's like the whole point of the song is, hey, don't cheat. Don't cheat on me. But also good for her. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. That's
It's
just
stupid.
It's just sad.
But Jordan, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is this good news or bad news? Because there was one inappropriate line on that entire CD. Okay, and it was indeed a very cringy lyric.
Well, it's a cringy song.
It's a cringy song. It was a cringy lyric.
Yeah.
And now, is it good news or bad news? She did change it, but she changed it because it's like not supposed to be bad, a bad thing. But it's, you know what I mean. So now, Speak Now is 100% pure.
Well, no, it's 100% pure in language, like sentence-wise. But now it's 100% bad in philosophy.
Yeah, I don't like the. I mean, look, it's not a whatever. It's just silly to make a big deal about all this.
I'm gonna tweet about it. I'm on.
But it is kind of dumb to. Now, like the guy is in the wrong too. But it's just like, hey, it's okay that you're doing that, girl. I mean, it's girl. That's what I meant to say. You know what I'm saying? It's okay that I'm talking to the woman. Taylor is talking to the woman, and she says,
Yes,
it's okay that you're doing
girl.
that. But also, I'm writing you this diss track.
Because
And nobody's better at revenge than me. But also, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not here to say anything offensive. All right? Can you imagine Eminem up there at the end of 8 Mile?
No.
There's a lot said in that last rap battle, okay?
He needs
very
to go,
inappropriate.
Yeah, he needs to go back. I think.
What do you think about this?
I just think there's nothing. This is one of those things that just exists. It's neither good nor bad. It's just something that you don't want to touch.
It's something that in 20 years we'll say, "You remember when that happened?"
Well, it's like
that
when
was
an animal.
indicative.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you see an animal dead on the side of the street and you think, is it good or bad? Well, there's like a huge overpopulation problem with these squirrels. I mean, they're scaring away the native brown squirrels, so that's bad. But like,
that's what
you can't say it's good.
Yeah. In the article that I was looking at about this, there was somebody who I was surprised that they included this. Somebody said that the part of the frustration of doing this kind of thing is that it compromises Taylor's goal of draining all the value from her original recordings. So the whole point is, hey, don't listen to the OG, listen to my version. But then she's changing the lyrics, and so it's like, well, hang on, I want to hear the song as it was, not before you like sanitized it for a. I pulled up Blazing Saddles the other day. You ever heard of this movie?
No.
It's this old like 70s Mel Brooks movie.
Never heard of him.
And it was like on HBO Max or something.
Yeah.
And they have someone come on at the beginning of the movie and like explain the context of the movie. And they're like, now there's a lot of racist stuff said in this movie, but those people are supposed to be the bad guys, okay? It's supposed to be bad that they're saying that. I was like, well, yeah, I know. That's why the movie is funny, because you're making fun of these people. Why do you need to come on here and explain this to me like 40 years later?
What a shame.
It's like.
So HBO Max like included that? Added that?
Yeah. All the streaming services have like different like, hey guys, sorry that we're gonna make some money off of this. Sorry that we paid a contract to host this content. But please subscribe and enjoy it, but not too much, because it's wrong. It's just also silly. Anyways.
Maybe it'll all end. Maybe it'll all end.
Jordan, on the topic of the edgiest person we know, Taylor Swift. Things your sheltered friend does to prove they're really edgy now, guys. Number 10, posted a picture of her new tattoo with the caption, "Did a thing." That's what inspired the whole top 10.
Number 9, claiming to be a rebel with opinions identical to CNN.
Number 8, went vegan that 1 week.
Number 7, complaining about echo chambers on your Discord server.
That was funny. Number 6, making a big deal about playing Grand Theft Auto.
Number 5, putting human in your bio. God help us.
Number 4, not admitting to how much time you spend on Urban Dictionary looking things up.
Saying bad words you just learned on Urban Dictionary.
Number 2, wanting you to know that they're not one of those Christians.
And number 1, questioning if you should still hate Fox News now that your parents do too.
Oh, I have such a deep thought for this week, but Jordan, I want you to go first.
Are you sure? Why don't you go first?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
You always have links. I just have thoughts.
I found an article. Well, I have thoughts about a link. AI robots could play a future role as companions in care homes.
What does that mean?
Human-like gestures and expressions could have an important future role to play in tending to the sick and elderly. Blah, blah, blah. It's just talking about how one day we're going to take care of our old and infirm in the old people's homes with robots. And it just made me mad.
Ugh.
Let me tell you why. It's everything wrong with the world. Okay, it makes me mad when there are just these homes where the old people live.
I'm just about to get up and leave.
I'm kidding. If you have kids and those kids are alive, why are you living in an old people's home?
Well, it's one of two things. It's either the child doesn't want to take care of the parent who's now or the parent didn't do a good enough job cultivating a relationship with the child that they don't want to stay with them and they would rather be in the old. I've seen it happen both ways.
It's like
Something broke somewhere.
You let the TV raise your child, and now you will die sitting in front of a television at the old people's home.
Because that's where they want to be.
Yeah.
But it's rare, but I have seen it happen before.
It's just, I feel like that's so indicative of just how sick we are as just poisoned and ill we are as a society. That because there are certain cultures that really revere the elderly and would never do such a thing. It's like a privilege to take care. Like when our grandparents got ill, Mom and Dad took care of them.
I know, it was like their whole life.
It was hard. It was
nice having them around.
Right.
As kids, I liked it.
And it was such a good example.
Yeah.
Too. But you're right. Like that as well. That like because now our grandparents were into their final years, because we did that, we got to visit with them.
Yeah, and I remember because our grandma, we called her Grandma Taylor, when she had a stroke the first time, and because Dad had a job on the computer, we were able to live down in Florida when she was recovering, and we lived down there for like a year. It's warmer there, so it didn't make sense to bring her where it was cold.
Mom's mom was sick too. Like it was kind of one after another, so we lived down in Florida for a long time.
For a very long time. And that was one of the best times of my life growing up. I always remember that. I always remember that just very fondly. I loved living there so much. I have so many great memories. And I remember Grandma Taylor had a stroke the second time after she recovered. And then that time, because we were like in college and stuff, we couldn't leave. So then Grandma came and lived with us and lived in my room actually while I was in college. So Grandma had my room. I think I just lived in the living room.
When we started Messy Mondays? That was kind of an issue because Grandma, I forgot about that until just now, but Grandma was living in the room where we were shooting Messy Mondays.
So Dad had to sit in the living room for a while whenever we filmed.
Do you remember she would like come rolling into the room and she was like, "Are you guys almost?"
Yeah, I remember that. That was classic. Yeah, and I remember I told Grandma that second time she was with us, I told her, I was like, "Man, that was one of the best times of my life was when we lived down there with you for a year at your house." And I remember that just breaking her mind. She was like, "How?" Like she thought that I could tell it was that she almost felt a weight on her that she had taken our time as kids.
Wow.
And so when I told her that, and I was saying that because I thought maybe she thought that, and I could tell that it like helped her remember that as like a better thing. So so that was nice. So I think that when these older people want to be they want to be in these retirement homes, it's because somebody didn't communicate with them that they are important to them.
I know. I agree. Like I'm not. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So somebody did something wrong somewhere because that's not normal. That's not normal to want to be in that situation. I don't know whose fault it is, but it's somebody's.
It's just so frustrating to me. It's like, your parent gets sick one day and gets old. Okay, you take care of them. Like, why do you?
Yeah.
Why would you just send them off?
It's not even like a thought. It's like
they've given you everything. Get over it. Like, what are you doing in your life that's so freaking important that you can't like take care of the person who like gave you existence?
It doesn't make any sense. I can't. I've thought about it. I can't make sense of it. You would think that would be the one thing that no matter what situation or weirdness that there had ever been in your life, that you would say it doesn't matter.
It's like
you would think.
It's like. Don't you like it's like you want to complete the circle of life. Like they took care of me when I couldn't do that, and so now I take care of you when you can't do it.
I don't know.
And you're setting a good example for especially now, because it's like I don't want to go to an old people's home.
Yeah.
So I want to set that example for my kids. Like, hey, look, this might be a tough thing, but
yeah.
Normal real life should be when your parents get old enough they can't live on their own. They come live with you.
I just feel like it's a no-brainer. It's hard to even try and rationalize the other side, but I tried. I tried to rationalize through what I said to what their thoughts are.
No, I'm glad you did say that because that does make sense. Like it's not like every old person is like, I'm a prisoner here because no one will take care of me. It's like I
would say it's about 50-50.
Yeah. Really?
I would say it's 50-50.
You think some of them actually don't want to be there but have no other option, and then some of them are like, it's better than nothing?
Yeah, because I've been to these homes a lot at one point in my life, and I could feel the thought was that a lot of them were having a good time there, wanted to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of hard to know. Do you just kind of like alter your thoughts because?
Too.
No, I know it's all weird.
Yeah.
But like they've somehow convinced themselves that that's what they would rather be. I don't know. It doesn't. Really make sense.
Can you imagine mom and dad when they get older just being like, I'd rather just hang out with all these other random old people. I'll see you guys maybe once a month.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine it. That's why I'm saying there's some weird break in the chain of custody. Somebody did something weird.
Kevin. All right. Oh, we're bringing back What a Fun segment. Did it waste my life? Here we go. All right, only on the Blimey Cow podcast will you find the section where we review media called Did It Waste My Life? And that's what we're going to do. So, Jordan, you are going to share with us a movie that you saw this week, and you're going to tell us, did it waste your life? Was it one and done? Or did it actively enrich your life?
I saw the movie. Oh, this is a funny story, actually. I was at a birthday party. Josh, I'm always at birthday parties.
Yeah,
the nieces, the nephews.
I'm
I'm always at a birthday party. So I was like at a party, or I can't even remember. 4th of July is what it was. And so that's America's birthday. So
Happy birthday, America.
So I was sitting around the table, Sarah's dad and brother-in-law. And they were there a little late, and the dad was. And he was like, we just got back from a movie that was so good. And I was like, what was it? And he was like, I can't remember the name of it. Can't remember the name. And I was like, all right, well, when you remember. And he was like, The Smell of Freedom. The Smell of Freedom. I was like, I didn't even know what it was, really. So I knew there was a movie coming out, and I was like, The Smell of Freedom.
The smell?
The
Smell of Freedom, yep.
But no, it's The Sound of Freedom. And me and Sarah wanted to see this after I found out what it was. But the thing is, like, the movie theaters are so packed, you cannot see the movie.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
I went to a movie theater just innocently, it was on the weekend. I'm like, who goes to movies anymore, So I'm like, well, whatever. So we don't even buy a ticket, like, before we go. And theater's packed. Okay, let's see if we can do 320. Theater's packed. Okay,
wow.
Can we do 5? Theater packed. Let's do the next day. Theater packed. The entire time. I mean, there was like one seat. So, and there's 2 of us, me and Sarah.
What theater were you going to? Not that it matters for the people at home, but I'm just curious. Was it the mall? Okay. Well, that's impressive. Yeah.
It was. I thought
that's a big theater.
Well, it was, and I realized every person who is walking into this theater is going to see this movie.
Yeah.
Because they all looked like a Christian. And so then we were like, well, let's go to this other random theater, and they actually had seats, but it was still packed.
Yeah. Well,
every hour.
Yeah, I guess they need to put it in more theaters, or maybe by the time.
Oh, it's not in all theaters?
No, it got like what would be about half of a full.
And it's beating Indiana Jones, doing half?
Well, it did one day. It did one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so Indiana Jones has come up.
It may have, No, it was that
the initial.
Indiana Jones was in its like 5th day. And this was on its first day. But also because they were doing that marketing thing where you could buy tickets for other people. When those tickets were, this was my understanding, when those tickets were purchased, even if it was for another day, I think when those tickets were initially purchased, it counted for that first day. So it kind of inflated the first day's box office.
See, that's called Christian misinformation. They're like, it blew up Indiana Jones.
Right. I heard that. So like at the end of the movie, they're like, buy a ticket for your friends or whatever. Like,
what's his name? Caviezel?
Jim Caviezel.
I want to call him Chris Caviezel. He doesn't look like a Jim. He looks like a Chris.
So how was the movie?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I like Christian movies are like something happened. It's like this. 90s Christian music was here. Christian movies were down here.
That's right, yeah.
Now it's going this way, where Christian music is getting worse and Christian movies are getting better.
Yeah.
Where you can't even tell that it was made by a Christian organization.
Well, I don't think it was. I don't think, like, Angel didn't make it. They just bought the rights to it.
Okay, so that makes sense because it seemed like this almost was just like an independent film.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
But it was great, and I would highly suggest that everybody go and see it. But I left thinking, I'm like such a soundtrack person. Like if the music, that's like when I edit videos, when I watch a movie, I'm watching the edit. How are they doing this? I'm never like just watching something. I'm like watching this, seeing like,
I know.
And it's actually a curse, Josh.
I know. Oh, we've talked about this quite a bit.
I'm watching it to see how are they piecing this together to get the best emotional effect.
Right.
And I felt the soundtrack was lacking on that. Now, there were some songs that were good. A lot of it was like South American music, which was cool.
The score, or like the songs they picked for to make you feel more emotional.
No, just like the score in general.
Okay,
but I like that it was like South American kind of like music because I like that music. But I don't know, there was just something about it that was just felt. I was like, why? This could have like up to this movie like literally 5 times if the soundtrack had been better.
Yeah.
There's one song they just kept playing like in the thing, and I was like, this isn't even that good.
Don't you hate when there's like one random thing about a movie that like
takes me out of it?
You
I was
can't.
Like, man,
it's like
this is a movie. Now that I
had this
this
thought, I can't take it out of my head. I know that's always so irritating when that happens in a movie.
But
but other than that, you liked it?
Yeah, no, it was great. I thought it was great. I really, and also, if I had named this movie, I wouldn't have called it The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, why is it called Sound of Freedom? Can you explain that without spoiling it?
Yeah, I mean, so when like there's one part where they save some kids like early on in the movie, and they like are cheering and like singing, and he's like, "That's the sound of freedom." I was like, okay. I mean, but like, I thought that the movie should have been called like The Children or something like something more. I don't know. Because then you get confused. Is it the smell of freedom? Is it the sound of freedom? You know,
the feeling of freedom, the sight of freedom.
So we weren't sure which sense we were freedoming.
Which sense are we?
But yeah, I mean, great movie. I feel like I should have more to say about it, but
you like.
I don't want to give anything away.
Okay,
but it really is a true story. Like they filmed on location. Like they went to Colombia. And they actually filmed in a very dangerous area. From what I understand, watching like things about the movie, it's really each event is like what actually happened. And the guy who it's about was like on location with them, like kind of seeming like making sure everything was done right. So it's not like based on, it's like actually is like a true story as far as I can tell.
I'm excited to see it. I hope that once it, I mean, if it's doing well enough in theaters.
Oh, they'll keep it in for a while.
It's tough, especially right now because the baby's on the way. It's tough to get to the movie, so I'm kind of like in this spot where I'm hoping it's like I'm glad the movie is doing so well.
Yeah.
I would like it to keep doing well, but I also want it to get out of theaters quick so that I can watch it at home.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I heard people saying that it was like it was a great movie, and I was like it's actually like really good.
Yeah, yes.
And then you told me it was really good.
I would go and see it again. But again, there's something about it that when I watched it and I left the theater, I felt like it could have been more impactful somehow. Like it was missing something. And I'm still, every day I've thought, what was that thing that it was missing? There was something like, and I still cannot put my finger on it. And I don't see anybody else saying this. So I don't know if it's just me.
You're the first person who's commented on the soundtrack to me. So
maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. But
all right.
But it was still. I mean, like that's just me. It was very good.
Enriched your life?
It did enrich my life.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. It made me want to do something about something. So I know that was a good movie. If I left the theater thinking something should happen more.
Yeah. All right. What's next? Oh yeah, it gave me hope. Jordan, do you remember how much we played Kirby growing up?
Dream Course?
Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kirby is a game that I feel like is more appealing to you when you're a child. Because
pink, fluffy.
Yeah, and the games are easier. And so as I grew up, you don't play Kirby as much. You play Mario or you play Metroid, you play Zelda, if you're going to play the Nintendo games. Well, I got a Kirby game to show the boys, And they
On Switch?
On Switch. I got Kirby and the Forgotten Island. It's the new one, and it's in 3D. Immediately mesmerized by it. And I realized, I was like, oh, right. This is a game about a character who swallows people and then becomes that action. Like, if you swallow a guy with a sword, you become a sword fighter.
It's genius.
And it's like, to a child's imagination, that's probably very interesting. And it just made me appreciate Nintendo. It made me think about, like, man, this is... I didn't even realize when I was a kid that this was, like, sparking my imagination for when I went out and played with
yeah, that's true.
With toys and stuff. And now it's like they're doing the same thing they did for me when I was a kid. Now they're doing it for my kids, but I'm enjoying it with them, you know? And I remember... you know, mom and dad playing video games with us when we were growing up, but not as much because, you know, they didn't grow up with video games, but we grew up with video games. And so we're adept at doing that. And so it's just, as a parent, I appreciate having Nintendo still being Nintendo. It's like
they're not doing anything weird.
Yeah,
they're just being normal.
Yeah, they make stuff that is, I think they are very aware that all the kids who grew up playing their games are now having kids. And so they're very, very meticulously, very strategically kind of putting out things that are both exciting and imaginative and creative, but also are like, hey, you remember this from when you were a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's got that nostalgia, but it's also like kind of doing new and exciting things. So I don't know. I just really appreciate Nintendo. They gave me hope this week.
Last week I said that it gave me hope that my rabbit didn't die. Remember?
That
crushed
the
igloo?
We recommended giving him a treat.
Yes, and I did. Thank you guys for the comments. Now, what happened was it got worse. Okay?
No.
It wasn't just the crushed igloo. No. My chickens disappeared. You know, I had 2 chickens that just were gone from this crazy storm that I missed because I was gone. Came home, one of my baby chicks, who actually has a mother, wasn't incubated. Well, was incubated, but then we gave the chick to the mother and the mother accepted it, which is how we were trying to break it from being a broody hen or whatever. So it had 2 chicks and one of them is just disappeared. No clue where it is. It's probably dead. But my favorite chicken, named Cassie for Casper, because she's so like just there and she's really just completely an independent woman. She doesn't hold to any man. She's just doing her own thing. She comes and goes.
She's her own hen.
But she always sleeps in the chicken coop with them. Now, she might change if she sleeps in the big chicken coop or if she goes to the side of the house and sleeps in the other little chicken coop with my other chickens.
Is she better known by the things that she does in the big coop or the small coop? Whoa.
The big coop. She does
Cassie,
does have a rooster that she does like.
Okay.
But now, because of the storm, she was gone. And I was like, wow, my favorite of all the chickens, it could have been any one of them.
Any of them.
But Cassie is gone.
Cassie, where'd you
I
go?
thought she
Cassie,
was
come
dead.
back.
So I'm outside, you know, working like 4 days later, I'm outside working on my dog house, underground dog house, you know. And next thing I know, it's been like 4 or 5 days. No sign. And next thing I know, she comes walking up out of the woods.
Hey guys, what's up?
And she's all like fluffed up because she knows that they're gonna like attack her because you know if the chicken's gone for a certain amount of days, it's like they're like, who is this coming up? You they start pecking them. So, and then she starts eating out of the feeder, trying to defend herself. And I was like, where were you? Like, where'd you go for 5 days? How did you? Chickens are resilient things, Josh. I'll tell you what, pretty amazing.
When I see chickens at the store, I'll be like, wow, they actually got one. They slowed it down. Old champ. How'd you get that one?
What, at Tractor Supply?
No, I mean like if you're at the grocery store and you see a chicken, like the chickens.
The dead ones.
The dead ones. Like, how'd they get it?
Oh. No, they don't let them move. That's how they get them. They don't let them move.
Oh, I could watch it. I could be a man.
Well, that gave me hope. My chicken's back, but now she's gone. I can't find her again, but then she just comes back randomly. So there we go. We recommend. And I forgot to bring my recommended thing too, dang it. Man, every single time.
It's okay.
Just trying to get the car fixed. So, Josh, you sent me this band a while ago.
Yes. Did you listen to it?
No.
Tell you what.
Yeah, I did.
You listen to this, and I'll watch Teen Mom 2, okay?
Touche Amore. I don't know Stage 4, the song. I don't know
the
names.
album. That's the album I would have sent you.
Yeah, I listen to it. I listen to it all the time.
It's great, isn't it? Touche Amore has an album called Stage 4. I don't think this kind of music is for everybody. It's the kind of screaming music like this.
Talking, screaming.
Yeah.
It's not even...
But I think that if that isn't the ultimate turnoff to you, then you should check out this album. It's honestly, I can only listen to it at certain times. I have to be in a good mood
to listen to the darkness.
Because it's a really sad album, but it's a really well told story. And it's about a guy... he's just telling kind of just the story of his life, finding out and dealing with his mom having cancer and then dying. So the album is about him kind of dealing with the death of his mother, which is very, it's a very well told story. And there's even like kind of like twists and turns in the telling of the story. So the first couple of tracks are sort of setting the scene. And then you kind of go into these specific moments of him kind of dealing with the loss or whatever. And then like there's a song where he just talks about the moment when he found out. And the whole CD is, it starts out with him talking about like, I can't bring myself to listen to the last voice message you sent me. And the album ends with him listening to it. And he actually plays it on the album. And it's like really heartbreaking. So anyways.
I don't think I've actually listened to the entire CD. There's a couple songs on there that
it's
really
so good. It's like
I need to listen to the whole thing.
It's like all the things when someone close to you dies that you think about, and I think the album is called Stage 4 because it's obviously Stage 4 cancer, but then it's also Stage 4 of dealing with grief, which at this very moment I don't remember which one that is. What is that?
I don't even know.
It's one before acceptance. Denial, anger, bargaining. Oh, it's depression. It's depression. Yes, that's accurate. That's what the album is. It's very depressing. Kelly can't listen to it at all. Like, period. Like, the album is about your mom dying. So, but I mean, that is a testament to what a great, like, how well it explains those feelings. That Kelly can. And for a while, I couldn't even listen to it. There are times where I want to listen to the songs because I like them, and I'm like, I don't really feel like putting myself in that headspace right now. But it is really good. So if you can handle that kind of music, definitely check out Touche Amore Stage 4. What you got, Jordan?
My recommended is a form of, hey, I didn't even realize this goes with the question from last week about the languages. So there's a really good way to learn languages, and I can't even remember what it's called, but it's this method where you actually read at your level, and it's not like children's books. It's like actually stories that you're completing from start to finish, like a book in the language that you're trying to learn. So a guy named Ollie Richards put out a series called Short Stories in Spanish, or Short Stories in Russian, or Short Stories in Norwegian, whatever. It's stories of like the top 1,000 words that these languages speak. And I guess they're all pretty similar because he kind of uses the same stories for each book of languages.
Oh, that's cool.
So they even have one for English too.
So if you've read the English one, then you can read it in every language.
It might help you.
Man, that's cool. That's neat.
But I just have the Spanish one. At the end of each story, because the book has, I don't know, maybe 5-6 stories in it. But at the end, it kind of highlights words that if you didn't know those words, you might get tripped up on what it's saying.
Okay. Yeah,
so he makes sure that you know a few like key phrases and words, so that if you know those, then you can kind of start to piece together like, oh, that's what this word means. It's kind of like this way of forcing you to learn, and you're excited to learn because you're like, wow, I'm reading a book in like Spanish, and it's like I understand the characters and everything. But you have to have some kind of, like, if I opened up the Russian one, because I think that'd be cool. I mean, it's a different alphabet. It's like, but because, everybody in the United States takes Spanish.
Right.
So you would be amazed that when you pick up the short stories that you can kind of decipher what it's saying and get through it. And it really does help. So anyways, I haven't gone through that in a while, but I just wanted to let anybody know out there. Short Stories in Spanish by Ollie Richards. I think he actually has a YouTube channel as well.
It kind of, that reminds me of a book I read on coding at one point. It was called learning Python the hard way. And it was the first time I had read a book that was teaching you coding that literally just said, now figure out how to do this. And it didn't ever explain it. And then the next lesson assumed you knew how to do it.
That's interesting.
And the whole point was, oh, I guess I have to search this online. But then so it takes you 5 minutes, something that they could have explained in 2 seconds, but now I'll never forget how to do it because I learned it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus just, okay, the book said to do it like this. Okay, moving on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's cool. That's really neat. Oh, is it over?
It's over. The episode's over. Wow.
Jeez.
Episode 10,
That was
decade
a
of doing
fun
this.
one.
Josh's always sad whenever the podcast ends.
I am. Well, because, you know, we spend a week kind of planning out the document.
I know.
So when it's done, it's like, wait, but this one was fun.
And now it's
Is it
over?
All right, we'll do it again.
Next week.
Start again next week.
Thank you to everybody who listens to this, watches this. I mean, we get so many comments, especially when Josh messes up the microphone.
Remember that part at the end?
You guys comment about Josh messing up the microphone.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
If you comment below and somehow your comment includes the word microphone at the end, we know that you watched until the very end.
That's exactly what it is. That's what we need to have, like a secret thing that we always put at the very end. That means that you listen to the very end.
Just say Mike. M-I-C.
Make sure to check out the Blimey Cow Clips channel.
Yes.
If you love this so much, but you don't want to give this video another view, you can watch the various clips. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.